Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're cracking open an investigative report, one that really pulls back the curtain on the incredible lengths some go to maintain secrets at the very top.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Our mission here is to take you inside a system allegedly run by the chairman of CJ Group, a massive player in South Korea.
And CJ Group, just for context, isn't just big in Korea. It's a global giant entertainment, food, retail. You probably know them from their huge audition shows.
Exactly. Things like Superstar K, Produce 101. They've launched huge K-pop groups through, 34 official programs?
Yeah.
Very public, very structured.
Right. Build on televised competition, finding talent out in the open.
But here's the turn. While CJ Group was running these massive public auditions, our sources claim the chairman, Lee Jae-hyun, was running his own parallel system. Highly secretive, intensely personal auditions and parties.
That's the core contrast, isn't it? We're not just talking vague rumors here. These reports detail the actual logistics.
Really granular stuff.
Who was invited? Hostesses, online personalities known as BJs, influencers, some lesser-known celebrities. There was apparently a rigid four-step screening process. And the security. It's almost unbelievable, like something out of intelligence operations.
Yeah, the operational security sounds intense. So this deep dive is really about understanding how extreme wealth and power operate in the shadows, how systems are built specifically to hide information. We want to give you that shortcut to understanding this hidden structure.
Okay, so where do we start? The selection process seems key. The sources are really clear. The chairman's preferences were, quote, firmly established.
Not a wide net then. Very targeted.
Exactly. And the details are quite something. Specific attire was preferred, like black skirts. And if the attendee had what the source called pretty legs, then GMC black stockings were strongly recommended.
Okay. Specific down to the hosiery. What else?
Footwear, kill heel, high heels were mandatory. Not just any high heels, mind you. Specifically 9 centimeters or higher.
Wow. 9 centimeters.
Yeah,
That's quite
exactly.
precise. Was there a reason given?
The reports suggest it was tied to the, let's say, performance aspect later in the evening. And physically, tall and thin was the requirement. Slender build.
Right. And the hair. I remember reading something specific about that too.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Hair had to be worn down, not tied up, the reason given. So it would, quote, fly when dancing.
Fly when dancing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It paints a picture, definitely.
Yeah.
All about appearance and, well, potential performance.
Precisely. So once they had this profile in mind, the recruitment started. Very discreetly.
How did that work? Not exactly a public casting call, I imagine?
No. Attendees would apparently get direct messages, DMs, often just mentioning a vague DJ party.
The DJ party.
Yeah. And according to one invitee, you just had to know. You had to infer that the host was the CJ chairman because his name was never actually mentioned. The manager set things up, but the host remained unspoken.
Implicit understanding. Powerful.
Mhm.
So before even getting an invite to this DJ party, there was vetting.
Absolutely. The first step, according to the sources, was this face meeting.
Okay, tell us about that.
It happened at a specific M Cafe in Cheongdam-dong. A recruiter, called a manager, would meet potential attendees.
And the point was?
Purely appearance evaluation, the report says. Checking face, height, body type against those strict criteria we just talked about.
In a public cafe.
Apparently so. Another attendee, B, remembered seeing maybe 4 to 6 people being interviewed at the same time. It sounds less like a chat and more like an inspection line.
Yeah, it sounds awkward.
But if you were already sort of on the books, known internally, B said it could be super quick, maybe just 2 or 3 minutes, just a visual check.
Okay, so past the face meeting, then what?
Then the logistics kicked in, setting up untraceable nicknames, negotiating the payment, figuring out the date and the first location, all done via KakaoTalk messages, apparently kept very secure.
Right, and this vetting, this focus on appearance, it all leads into the security aspect, which sounds extraordinary.
It really does. One source didn't mince words, called it a Nebelu 7 espionage party.
Wow. Okay, so what made it feel like spycraft?
Well, first off, the moment you got near the actual party location, phones were confiscated. Total surrender of mobile devices.
Standard practice for high-security events, maybe, but still creates an information blackout.
Instantly. But getting there? That was the real production. 3 separate location changes.
3? Why so many?
Pure obfuscation, it seems. The first address attendees received led them to a specific building on Dosendero.
And what was there?
It was identified as an empty building. previously a dermatology clinic or hospital, completely vacant. And attendees like C had to go there just for a mandatory COVID test. That was stop one.
Wait, hold on. They used an empty hospital just for a COVID test. That's elaborate.
It speaks volumes about the resources and planning, right?
Yeah.
Using vacant corporate real estate knowledge purely for this personal setup. Maximum control, zero chance of random people being around.
Okay, so pass the test at the empty clinic. Then what?
Then a new address instantly pops up on Kakotalk. That's stop two. The S Gallery in Cheongdam-dong. Another controlled point.
But still not the final destination.
Nope. The third and final instruction was the most intricate. No address this time. Instead, attendees received 6 photos.
The photos.
6 photos detailing a precise walking path. They had to follow these photos step by step for about 160 meters from the S Gallery to a specific fashion brand store. The actual party on the 6th floor rooftop of that store building.
That is meticulous, following pictures like a treasure map.
And what really nails this down, according to the report, is the cross-checking. Investigators spoke to 2 totally separate attendees, A and C, who didn't know each other. Their accounts of the journey, the locations, the sequence, they matched perfectly.
So it confirms this wasn't just a one-off weird experience. It was a system, a highly practiced, rigid procedure.
Exactly. Designed to make it impossible for anyone to just show up or even figure out the final location ahead of time.
Incredible. Okay, so after navigating this whole 007 sequence, you finally arrive, hand over your phone.
Hmm?
What was it like inside?
The atmosphere immediately shifted, according to the sources. Strict protocols, a clear hierarchy.
How so?
It started with a kind of entrance ceremony for the chairman. There were fixed members, Gojong women already established in the circle. They had specific jobs.
Like what?
Like announcing his arrival. "He's coming," shouted with urgency. One person was designated to assist him physically, while another had to shout, "Ildong Jerp!"
Which means...
Everyone stand up, a sign of formal deference.
Right. So a very structured, almost formal start. Then what? Mingling.
Some casual conversation initially, yeah, mostly between the chairman and these fixed members, but then the main event began. The group would move to a different floor.
Okay.
This floor had a proper DJ booth karaoke setup. This was the performance space, the audition part of the evening.
The dancing, the hair flying. What kind of dancing are we talking about?
The descriptions from attendees are pretty stark. They called it things like 19-rated broadcast dance or Excel dance.
Okay.
Others used terms like BJ balloon receiving level vulgarity, or just plain cheap low-quality dance, a San Mai Jojo dance. So, suggestive, provocative performances.
And this was competitive.
Highly. This was how you apparently tried to impress and potentially move up within this internal hierarchy. While this was going on, the chairman reportedly had a specific role himself.
What was he doing?
Yeah.
Watching intently. Judging.
According to the sources, he spent about an hour leaning against the DJ booth, actually operating the equipment. Like he was the DJ for this performance section.
Huh. Okay. And the fixed members? The Gojong? What was their role during the dancing?
They were reportedly crucial in managing the atmosphere. Their job was to encourage the newcomers, the new P, constantly, nonstop cheering, showering them with compliments.
Like, you're amazing, keep going, sort of thing.
Exactly. You're so good. You're so fun. Mandatory positive feedback to keep the energy high and the performances going.
It sounds less like a fun party and more like a really intense, high-pressure talent show. For an audience of one, essentially.
That seems to be the dynamic described, and the stakes felt high for the attendees. There's testimony from one woman, D, who was apparently in tears about wanting to get promoted.
Promoted within this structure.
Yeah. She wanted to move up from the status of queen, or Yeongjeon, to the top rank empress, Hwang-hu. It shows how formalized this hierarchy apparently was.
Empress. Wow.
Oh.
Did she make it?
No. Dee was reportedly complaining afterwards that the chairman only seemed interested in women who did that, quote, cheap dance. The night would eventually wind down, ending with a dinner.
Another location.
Yes, prepared by a famous chef at yet another spot. But the selection wasn't over.
How so?
Attendee B reported that right at the very end, the woman judged to have danced the best, presumably in that provocative style, was kept behind. Everyone else, they got paid and were sent home.
So one person was selected each night.
It seems that way based on B's account.
Okay.
And those fixed members, the established ones, they allegedly had separate gatherings and much higher pay. One source mentioned 10 million KRW, that's roughly 7,000 or 8,000 US dollars for a 3-day event just for them.
Okay, let's talk about the money for the regular attendees. How did the payment actually work?
This is where the operational mechanics become really clear again. It was strictly cash, no records, no transfers.
Handled by whom?
By the manager, acting on behalf of the chairman. The chairman reportedly allocated 2 million KRW per person for the night.
About $1,500 maybe?
Roughly, yeah. But the attendee didn't get all of it. The manager would take a cut 500,000 KRW.
Ah, the middleman fee.
Right, leaving the attendee with 1.5 million KRW. And it was always delivered the same way, cash. Specifically, 50,000 KRW bills handed over in a plain white envelope, untraceable.
30 bills in an envelope. Wow. Completely off the books, run by company staff, if you add it all up. 8 women, the fancy wine, the celebrity chef renting multiple venues possibly, security, staff time. What's the estimated cost per party?
Sources put the minimum cost for just one of these nights at around 20 million KRW.
That's over $15,000 minimum per night.
Per night. And crucially, these weren't like once-a-year events. The reports suggest they sometimes happen 2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week. The cost, the logistics, the sheer manpower needed for that 3-stop security protocol. This isn't just a rich guy having a party, is it? This sounds like a funded operation.
That's the argument, essentially. It looks like an operational expenditure requiring a significant, dedicated, off-the-books budget and staff coordination.
Which brings us to the biggest question, right? The clash, the corporate contradiction.
Exactly. How does this alleged private activity square with the public image and stated values of CJ Group?
Because CJ's main business, especially brands like Olive Young, their big health and beauty chain, and all their K content, who's the main customer?
Overwhelmingly women. Olive Young's customer base in 2024 was reportedly 76% women. And the company actively promotes itself as supporting healthy women, focusing on talent, creativity, public appeal.
Yet, these reports paint a picture of the chairman allegedly spending huge sums of untaxed cash to, well, the report uses strong terms.
Very strong. It describes it as buying women, using them as tools, engaging in sexual objectification, treating people as objects in sexual commodification.
Which is?
Buying and selling sexual appeal as a direct economic transaction, demanding specific body types, specific performances in exchange for cash in an envelope.
And the sources argue this directly undermines CJ's own core corporate value.
Yes, their stated #1 value. Only one, implying uniqueness, integrity, maybe originality. The argument is that when the personal desires of the leader of a 43 trillion KRW company require this kind of secret, expensive, and ethically dubious operation,
Using company resources, staff, security protocols,
then the personal and the corporate are impossible to separate. It's not just a personal deviation at that point. The report suggests the cost isn't just the 20 million KRW per party.
what's the other cost?
The potential contamination of the corporate machinery itself, using company logistics, security know-how, financial pathways, even if off-books cash, and employee time to facilitate and protect these private activities. It implies the corporate structure is being leveraged.
So, stepping back from all these details, the black stockings, the 9-centimeter heels requirement, the 3-location shuffle like spies, handing over phones, the envelopes of cash, it all just screams elaborate, doesn't it? An entire secret organization built for one person's leisure.
The sheer logistical weight of it is staggering. It suggests that maintaining this level of secrecy required corporate-level planning and resources.
Which leads us to the final thought we wanted to leave you, the listener, with today.
Yeah, building on everything we've unpacked from these reports. When a powerful individual's private life, their leisure, requires such a complex, resource-intensive apparatus security, untaxed cash payments, staff coordination, multiple locations,
All documented in these investigative sources.
can that private activity ever really be truly separate from the institution they lead, from the corporate values they publicly represent? That's the fundamental question about corporate responsibility that this whole situation leaves us pondering.